How you going, people? I'm picked up some of this ammo out at uh-oh. Here comes my horses. I don't want them coming over here. I'm shooting, don't come over. So I was gonna take them riding and they were way off in the back, so I figured I'd shoot. Then they see me out here and now they're coming. So anyway, picked up this ammo. It was on sale, and it's 200 rounds. It's 2 of these boxes. Each of these boxes have 100, and I think it was like 82 bucks for 200 rounds. So that's considerably less than 50 cents a round. It's just ball ammo. I wouldn't carry it in my duty. I mean, you could carry it. It functions well. It's brass, and it's round nose, so it's going to function good. It's 230 grain. I just picked up a couple hundred boxes because I'm going to come out here and do some shooting. So, put this back in my golf cart. If you see the target over there, I think the target's in here. Yeah, little orange target. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot from my golf cart while I'm driving. And I tell people to, if you're training, I got earplugs on, so it sounds like I'm screaming. Everybody's always, you're always screaming at the video. Well, if I don't scream, then the wind picks up and people complain they can't hear me. So I'm going to drive straight to the target, fire a couple rounds while I'm driving, and then I'm going to drive across the target, shoot a couple of rounds this way, and then shoot a couple across my body. And what that's going to do is, it's just going to get me used to shooting and moving, not being able to focus. I talk about a DUI test for drunk driving. The purpose of a drunk driving test is, it's called a divided attention test. It's to divide your attention. So I have you lifting your leg, keeping your balance, pointing your toe, looking at your toe, and then counting 1001, 1002, 1000. And all those things are designed to divide your attention so you can't just concentrate on keeping my balance and talking straight. So the more things I get you to do, the more complex the task, the more it makes your brain concentrate on different things, so you can't concentrate on just keeping your balance and looking sober. So in shooting, there's a lot of divided attention, same kind of concept and principle. If I always go to the range, practice my stance, practice my grip, practice my holding, my drawing, if I just do this and concentrate on this, then I'm doing specific tasks without a lot of distractions. Now then you add drawing and moving, moving forward, moving backwards, shooting with no sights, shooting with one hand, shooting off foot, shooting standing, across my body shooting, slanting the gun a little bit for a one-handed good lock. I talk about all those in some of my videos, but all those things get you doing different things instead of concentrating on one thing. So in this little exercise, and you can do it from the back of a quad, you can have someone else drive and you shoot as a passenger, you can shoot while you're driving. There's a lot of different ways you can incorporate, but I'm always into shooting and training in different ways. I want to get to where drawing and pointing and pulling the trigger becomes non-thinking. It's muscle memory. So it doesn't matter if I'm driving, if I'm filming, if I'm drinking coffee, drinking tea, it doesn't matter. What I want is the drawing and shooting and pointing and shooting to become so instinctive, so muscle memory, so repetitive, that in a crisis when I'm thinking about, holy crap, he's got a gun, I gotta move, there's people behind him, I can't shoot, what do I do? All these things come into play. So the more you can train with distractions, when I used to train cops, it would be, I would turn on a vehicle, I would have them drive up in a vehicle, I'd have them jump out of a vehicle, I'd have them shoot between the door of a vehicle in an awkward position. I would be pushing them when they're shooting. I'd have 2 people shoot, and I'd be pushing both of them into each other. So they're learning to deal with distractions and still focusing. Front sight, squeeze the trigger. Front sight, squeeze the trigger. Front sight on target, squeeze the trigger. That's all I want them to be thinking, no matter what else is going on around them. So when you're training yourself, you should be doing the same thing, which is why I say it's not good just to go to the range, draw, ready on the firing line, ready on the left, ready on the right, ready on the firing line, fire! Bang, bang, reholster your gun. Keep your hands off your gun. Is the range safe? Okay, let's see how we did. To me, that's really counterproductive training. It's good for a beginner, it's good to get the fundamentals, but you need to advance past that. Somebody asked me a question about what do you do, or what my impression is if somebody tries to rob you, 2 or multiple people. And you know, all legal questions, all horse questions, I tell everybody, the one's picking up, of course, I came out here and videotape. They're always going to be, it depends. It depends on who you're with. What is your options? How many people are around you? What are your odds of succeeding and failing? All these things are a thought process that you have to go through when an incident happens. But what you don't want to be thinking about, where's my gun today? Do I have my gun? Can I get to my gun? How many rounds do I have in my gun? Is there one in the chamber? Is the safety off or on? Those are things you don't want to have to even cross your mind. You want to be able to evaluate the threat, the weapon. In any situation you have to use your gun, you're always thinking distance is your friend. Distance is time. I want to create distance. If I'm throwing my knife or my wallet out, somebody wants my knife, hey dude, no problem, here's my wallet, you can have the money, I don't want it. I'm going to toss it to him, maybe toss it to the side of him, drop it at his feet, something to get him to go for that wallet so I can create distance. Distance is my friend. When he draws a knife, hey man, don't shoot, let me get my wallet, no problem, no problem. I'm creating distance, I'm talking, I'm keeping him focused on other things besides when am I going to pull my gun or when am I going to decide to pull my gun. Now, if a guy comes up and puts a gun close enough to where I can grab it or sticks it in my gut, then I'm probably going to grab it, disable it, control it enough to where I can get my gun out and put off some rounds. But that, I'm a little bit, you know, everyone has to do what they're comfortable with. I used to teach weaponless defense, disarming, and all that stuff, so I'm pretty, even though I'm not as good a shape as I am and I'm not doing it, I'm not as proficient, I still have that muscle memory and I still feel confident enough that if I get my hand on your gun, I'm going to be able to get my gun and put rounds on you while keeping your gun from shooting me. So, what do you do with multiple adversaries? You know, it's hard to say. I mean, if they have knives, then I'm creating distance, I'm drawing, and I'm putting rounds in every one of them. The closest one gets a round. If they start coming at me, they're getting a round. If they start going away, then you know what? I'm shooting the guys closest to me. I want the most threat to me. Now normally, when you pull a gun and shoot the first guy, the other guys run. That's a clue, and they take that clue. You know what? We picked a bad guy. This guy's not a victim, or this woman's not a victim. So we need to go pick somebody that's easy. It's kind of like, you know, wolves and coyotes. They're not going to really attack something stronger and bigger than them. They're going to pick the weak. So if you're walking around like a victim, and they think you're a victim, then they're going to come treat you like a victim. But when you don't act like a victim and you have a gun, suddenly they want to distance themselves from you and go pick another victim. So, again, what do you do? I can't answer because I don't know the situation. I'm sure there's some videos out there where multiple adversaries, cops have taken them. Again, about the best advice I can give is decide if you're going to shoot, when you're going to shoot, to where it's most advantageous to you. You can distract with your gun or money. If you want to open your wallet and take the money out and drop it and have it blow across, and they'll be like, shit, what do you know, if they're wanting money, that's what they want. If they want to hurt you, they're going to say, screw the money, I'm going to shoot you anyway. So, what do? You know, you gotta have plans. You have to have, remember, be nice to everybody, but always have a plan to kill them. If somebody walks up to you, you can't be thinking, oh, what's this nice, kind person doing coming up to me? Maybe he's going to give me money. Maybe he's going to ask for directions. Maybe he just wants to tell me it's a beautiful day. Or, when this guy walks up to you, you're going to be like, does this guy, how's he walking? Is he looking at me in the eye? Is he looking around? Does he have friends? Is there more than one people? The more you can get time and evaluate and start doing something, the better you are. I'm not going to let too many people get up close to me if I pick up some cues on how they're carrying their body, if one of their hands is in their pocket, one of their hands is behind their back, if they're looking to me, reading that body language, which is kind of, it becomes normal as cops. It's called street smarts, or you get your street sense. When you're working the road, man, I can pick out gangbangers and guns and who's got guns and who's walking funny and who's got a bulge, who's looking guilty. I can pick it out like that. If I'm riding a desk for a while and working some cases and I'm sitting there doing a lot of investigation and I'm not coming in contact with a bunch of thugs, 3-6 months, if I go out on the road, I notice a huge difference in my officer safety, my ability to pick up clues. I don't, treat people like I do the road dogs. A road dog in the cop world is somebody that works the road all the time. That's his job. That's what he does. Those guys are better. I used to pull up on scenes with new officers or officers in kind of non-crime areas, like Davis, California is a very college town. People crack on them. The biggest crime they got is bicycle theft. So when you pull up on them, they're all about not getting complaints. 90% of their contacts are good, decent kids, college people, people in the community. They don't have a lot of bad crime there. It's not a crime-ridden area. So their officer safety is very different than if I go to Oakland, California, Vallejo, down in LA, and those places. Officers are very different because they deal with a different class of people. Somebody that works in Beverly Hills is going to be a different kind of officer than somebody that works in Compton or in the Bronx, somebody in a bad area where there's a lot of crime. So that street smarts you need to develop when you're in the grocery store, when you're walking around, when you're doing things that are routine, but you need to be in a grocery store. You need to be evaluating people all the time. I'm looking at people. I'm looking at how they carry themselves. Who's a threat? Who's not a threat? What's this person up to? Why are these two guys here with their pants down their ass looking around? Well, they're probably up to no good. Oh, Rick, that's profiling. You shouldn't do that. That's stupid. That's liberal ignorance that you shouldn't profile. Of course you should profile. Of course you should be nervous if there's a guy with a turban looking around sweating when he gets on a plane and he's hugging a freaking briefcase. Yeah, you should be nervous. Well, Rick, that might be his Quran. He wants to pray. That's stupid talk. Okay, all this no profiling and no judging and everybody's good will get you killed and it gets you a victim. So, I guess I got way off track on this 3, and I'm going to have to make a part 2 because I don't know what my time is on this. So I'll do a part 2 for the shooting. So just to cover multiple adversaries, the things that you have to do is, 1, how quick do you know you're being a victim? How quick do you know you're being attacked? Have an escape route. Have a place to back away. Looking for places to jump behind before cover. If there's a mailbox right here and I can just move toward that mailbox and distract you through my wallet, I can jump behind the mailbox, get my gun out and shoot at you from behind the mailbox. So you're always going to be looking for that escape path, distance path, something for cover and concealment, something to create distance till you can do what you need to do. And if that's draw your gun and engage, then do it. Like I said, usually after the first round, most so-called bad guys or cowards, they're leaving. That's why guns are the great equalizer. That's why crooks love gun control. That's why liberals love gun control, because it gives predators the advantage. And liberals want to come for your damn money, taxes, ruin the country, do all this bullshit. So they love gun control. They love disarming them. They love having a bunch of victims. They really like stupid victims, because then they don't have a clue. And that's how crooks are. They like stupid victims. They like people that aren't thinking. They like to catch people by surprise. They like to catch a woman in a parking lot who has no clue of her environment, digging through her purse with her keys. Meanwhile, there's been 3 guys over there at the light pole 20 feet away that's been staring at her walk to her car, and she don't even know they're there. That's what crooks like. And they look at you and they're evaluating you. Before a crook doesn't go out randomly and just get somebody. They actually go out and they look for people not paying attention. They look for victims. They look for people who look like they don't have a clue. They look for the people running around smiling, letting people get close. They may even do a probe and have one of their buddies, yo man, walk up, see what he does when you bump into him. See if he'll be relaxed or if he gets nervous. And they may bump into you and you may go, oh hey man, are you all right? And you go to help them. Well, you know what? You're kind of a victim. Okay, I'm not going to expose myself and allow myself to be grabbed or something. If somebody bumps into me, I'm creating distance. Why are you not looking where you're going? Why are you bumping into me? Especially if they look like a crook. Well, Rick, what does a crook look like? You can't be judging people. You have to treat everybody equal. That's stupid talk. A crook looks like a piece of crap that doesn't have a job. It's not dressed decent. That's not caring himself. That's running around being a citizen or causing problems, being loud, walking around like a predator, walking around like he's a bad, looking at people, being, just obnoxious. Those are the people that are going to be robbing you because they're evaluating how you handle them. Do you create distance? Do you love and embrace them with your tolerance and acceptance? Those are all victim things. So hopefully I kind of answered that thing on what do you do if you get multiple attacks. When I come back to part 2, if you don't want to listen to all this, to part 2, I'll drive at the video and across from it. Alright? Sorry about that. I got off track there, which I often do. People say I chase rabbits a lot. Like a dog in the field. When a rabbit pops out, he's got to go chase. Another one pops out, he chases it. Alright, end that there.